Alright. So tomorrow I have what do you call it? It's testing tomorrow. Tomorrow I have testing and I'm not happy. Can you okay, I know like normally we have it so that I'm gonna go to the house pretty soon, you know what I mean? But I have to take a test in an isolated classroom, which is something I actually really hate. You know why? Because I don't like being isolated from other people. Because I like I have to go to a special classroom. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I play every day, except for everything except for my school. That's why I pay for everything except for my school, chat. You know what I mean? And like, bro, I just want to be in a normal classroom setting instead of having to be like isolated every 3 periods. You feel me? And somehow the school is completely happy with that, and I really don't like it. I don't, and that's why I pray every day. But I don't pray for my school because I'm not gonna lie. Some days not gonna lie. I sometimes kind of wish that my school would just burn up to the ground because I absolutely hate it and I love it at the same time. And like, okay, I get like special education for like kids who can't focus, but I can focus properly well. I just feel like an imposter to everyone in there. Like barely anyone in there knows the R plus one. Not trying to be ignorant or anything, not trying to be percent cancel, but you know what I mean? I and I don't want to be isolated. I just want to be I just want to be like a little kid in the classroom. And somehow the school spit a smile on my face to see me feel so isolated in the class. Which I highly don't condone. Why do I have the code up? No, hold on, let me take out the code. And also new video coming out soon of about the Anani GT drama. And speaking of the Anani GT drama, I'll talk about it right now. So in the Anani GT drama, people are saying that how do I say this? It says what happened to Anani GT. So there are videos Disappearance of a Nani GT. Your Nani GT situation. Basically just other stuff. But let's look at this video.
Well, hello again. In my last video, I talked about the disappearance of a Nani GT, and I was completely wrong. Since some people finally woke up and figured out what was going on, I had more resources to work with. With more in-depth research, a Nani was actually caught saying a racist slur. And I don't know what caused this, but something must have triggered him or put him off. A racist slur.
Yo.
And I don't know what caused this, but something must have triggered him or put him off. So during the end of my last one, I talked about his Discord, which at the time was a minor aspect. But this video will revolve all around his Discord. So in the Savage Boys thumbnail for a video of my exact topic, there were Discord messages of a Nani saying racial slurs. I am not here to defend or blame a Nani, I'm just here to spit facts. So let's look into why he said that kind of stuff. So basically, in his Discord server, a user by the name of Keith told him to, with the N-word. I can't say the N-word because I am Asian and I have a natural chink pass, not an N-word pass. Anyway, in the second message in the Savage Boys thumbnail, a Nani did use the N-word. Whether he is of African descent is completely irrelevant, as saying this word is wrong. However, his tone and message did not sound very angry, implying he was using it casually. Keith, the one who insulted a Nani, said the following: Keith here, I just want y'all to know this is entirely my fault. I've made a Nani too comfortable with saying the stuff he shouldn't have said, and I've gotten too comfortable as well. This is not a Nani's fault. He didn't realize it until he had said all of it. He apologized. We also got an alibi from Anani's co-owner who said the following. As you can see, Anani's insult was triggered. So basically, in light of the information we have obtained, I can speculate is that Anani was going through a tough time in his life, and when Keith started a fight between him and Anani, he just basically pulled the last string, causing Anani to completely crash out and delete his channel. But the motives behind Keith's actions are unknown, so if anyone has info, please let me know. But for now, this case is a dead end, and Anani is truly gone.
Alright? By 4:30, I need you to clean this room good, and I need you to take a break.
Okay.
And later on, you can go back to it, but you can't be doing this all day.
Okay. Okay. Bro. Yo. Yo, what's up? Oh, no, why did I click on that? Okay, good. Okay, good thing it was an error. Sad. Watch yours. Okay. You're live? Okay.
Hey guys, Creeper VR here. This is my first video. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about 5 things in Gorilla Tag's new update that you missed. Let's head over to number 1. Alright guys, so number 1 is this secret tunnel. There's light coming out from this wall here. If you have any idea why, tell me down below in the comments. But this might be a new secret tunnel. Alright, we're back in City. And did you know that there's this bundle here? But you can actually get the blocks for free. Except you can't get these blocks, sadly. And they're not infinite. As you can see right here, they have the dungeon doors. which
Yeah.
are in the bundle that costs $6,000. By the way, I cannot get that. That's not actually a carpet. It's actually a trapdoor.
Trapdoor.
Apparently. And see, we got this stuff here, the castle barriers, flags, flag poles, and then over here is the crossbows and monkey statues. Number 3 is that the next update will be in 9 days, which
Yeah, it's usually like a new flashback, and for the Christmas one, I think is leaving in 24 days, but I'm currently saving up for something.
is honestly a little weird because I don't ever remember getting that guy. But also, if it's changing in 9 days, where did it all go? Number 4.
Yeah.
There's a new vote, and it ends in 5 days. So, who knows? There might be a new update in 5 days, and then after that, there'd be another one in 4 days. On a Thursday. I don't know how that one works, if that's going to be a new update, or if this is going to be the new update. Tell me if you think it's going to be in 5 days, or in 9 days.
Yes.
As you can see, Big Monkey, I don't know if it's regular monkey now, or if it's the one in Guardian, and Small Monkey, which is when you're in there.
Just let me know if
Alright, and number 5, if you put on the color changing ring, your color changes, and if you put on the skin, right over there, your color changes with it, which, in my opinion, is pretty cool. Obviously, this is...
Hold up. Do I have any other sources? I did, but I don't want to shout it. I just want to watch. Okay. Sounds good.
isn't from this update, but still, in my opinion, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, bonus one, why am I pink?
Change the color.
Alright guys, that's it. Like and subscribe. My goal is...
Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't have notifications on. Okay. So that's cool. It's cool. No, I bald. It's crazy.
Yo, Megumi, check it out. No bald. Oh, hey, Novara.
What are you doing, Yuji?
Nothing.
Show me. You think this is funny? You think this is funny?
No.
You think this is funny?
Oh my god.
Yo, Megumi, check it out.
Oh no. I put the entire Earth in it. Oh, how are you gonna do that? FNAF ransom. If I laugh, I go to hell.
If you laugh at any of these memes, you going to hell. Did she just flex her instrument?
Or shall I slice your baby's necks ear to ear?
Bastardi! You think you can threaten me? I'll give you nothing! You want my children? Take them! I have the instrument to make more!
And that's why P. Diddy targeted him.
That's just straight
Why are black people afraid of chainsaws?
Don't even say it. Don't say
Run, nigga, 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 nigga.
That's not funny. That's not funny. That's not funny. Did you make me happy because you made someone else happy? I don't feel happy a lot, but that's okay. I put people before myself. W. W quote. W quote right there. W. Hold How do I change this? Hey, chat. Ew. Someone just no, it wasn't a donut. I'm just testing out the alert box. Yo, chat, how do I change the alert box thing? I'm just testing. Yo, chat, how do you change it? How do you change it? You know how to change it? How to customize alert alert box.
From the world of Inside Out.
Did you hear that?
Meet the team behind Riley's dreams.
I've been seeing so
So
many
you've
edits.
spent all this time and this at the same time. Does. The image is going to be one of the most important things. You can go to image, message template. Mine just says whoever's name, and if you're worried about .com. We want to go to the left-hand side and click on Alert Box. This is going to allow us to change all the settings that we need. By the way, if you're using OBS Studio or Twitch Studio and you want to use Streamlabs alerts, all you'd have to do is copy this widget URL and paste it as a browser source. But if you're streaming through Streamlabs OBS like me, then you don't need to worry about that. So you can see we have a couple different general settings. You honestly don't have to change anything here. Then you have to Streamlabs.com. You're playing games, because if it's behind, you're not use either of these. We're actually going to use the website because we get way more control over our alerts. So we're actually not going to change anything on this regardless, and I'm just going to hit close, and then just make sure that your alert box is above your webcam or your screencaps.com. We want to go to the left-hand side and click change. You're not going to be able to see the alerts that pop up. So let's go over to streamlabs.com. We want to go to the left-hand side and click on alert box. This is going to allow us to change.
Okay. Streamlabs.com. Okay, that's alright. Let me just put this over because I'm gonna log in real quick. Some continue. Alert box.
Change all the settings that we need. By the way, if you're using OBS Studio or Twitch Studio and you want to use Streamlabs alerts, all you'd have to do is copy vanity filter. If you're with happy words, it's really funny, which is why I personally have it on. So let's go to the subscribers tab, and this is going to be anytime we get a subscriber, this is going to happen. So let me pull up Streamlabs OBS and this at the same time, show you that it works. So I'm going to click test subscriber.
Hey, bro.
One more time so you can see, and you can move the alert. Right now, the layout, and then I can click save settings, and then above the text. But if I wanted the text on the picture, I could click this, and then I can click save settings, and that'll make sure that everything. I do not like that at all, which is why I had it on this way to begin with. But you have to pay for, which indicate by the little one, hit select, and it'll all. Or if you just want it to be soft, like my man titties, you can choose if you want it to be click test subscriber.
Hey, bro.
Then you can see that someone has just subscribed above your webcam or your screen. So let's go over to streamlabs.com. We want to go to the left-hand side and click on Alert Box. This is going to allow us to change all the settings that we need. By the way, if you're using OBS Studio or Twitch Studio and you want to use Streamlabs alerts, all you'd have to do is copy this widget URL and paste it as a browser source. But if you're streaming through Streamlabs OBS like me, then you don't need to worry about that. So you can see we have a couple different general settings. You honestly don't have to change anything here. They have a profanity filter. If
Hi. Yes. There we go. Alright. W's. YouTube's darkest videos. This is interesting.
it's
Guys. Discretion warning.
December 4th, 2003.
I'm gonna go try to get them to stop doing that.
A police officer walking in a local park in Arlington, Virginia, is approached by a concerned family, claiming that someone in a nearby neighborhood had been shooting off a flare gun. The officer could hear it too, and following the sound, he eventually found himself at the home of 56-year-old James Yu. The man lived alone in his
Bro, that smile is kind of
half of his duplex, and was described by neighbors as a recluse known to exhibit unusual behavior. Across his social media, he made posts claiming that he was the victim of fraud at the hands of all sorts of government agencies, as he had a deep distrust of the US government as well as law enforcement, and he believed that numerous people were attempting to kill him, like his ex-wife, the FBI, and even his neighbors. His posts seemed entirely nonsensical, and so did many of his actions. In the months prior, he had covered up all of his windows with garbage bags and aluminum foil, and he even wrapped his trees in toilet paper. And though these actions are entirely harmless, on this day, things were becoming far more troubling.
Well, hello again.
Oh, I know. Why'd I do that?
And he did it all with no let up, stop, window and into.
Oh my god. Yo.
When police arrived at his home, Yu would be seen firing his flare gun out of his window and into the air, over and over again, and despite repeated attempts to get him to stop.
Arlington County Police! Stop shooting the flares! Mr. Yu!
Yo.
He didn't let up, shooting 41 flares in the span of just 25 minutes. And he did it all with no explanation. In fact, he didn't even say a single word. Understandably, police were eager to get Yu out of his home for questioning, as at this point it wasn't obvious whether or not he was a threat. And so for hours and hours they called out to him, first asking and then demanding that he exit his home.
Oh. James. Arlington Police. Come to the front door with your hands up. Do it now.
You have your building surrounded.
But still, there was no response. Growing impatient and worried that you might be planning something, the police would eventually bring in a specialized vehicle to bust down the door and spray the inside of the home with gas, all in an attempt to draw you outside.
James, stay away from your front door. Stay away from your front door, James.
And in response, you began firing once again. Only this time, he wasn't using flares. And instead, he was now yielding an actual gun. Thankfully, none of these shots connected, but with the situation becoming increasingly dangerous, the officers decided to fall back, as they carefully came up with a new plan for apprehending you, though whatever they had been planning would never come to fruition.
Guys, like, what did he make this like same video of the what's it called, the freaking schoolboy? This dude. Oh my god. Smart school. I think I heard something about this. Let me look.
It's a way to build trust in order to...
hell no. I'm not even gonna put this on full screen. Oh, I think I've heard about this dude before. Like, sometimes when I've been like, this is why I don't go outside anymore, bruh. Like, especially alone, because I feel like this dude, even though this dude, I don't think he lives where I am. But, like, I feel like this dude would just, like, I feel like this dude would just, like, run. I feel like this dude would just run and just lunge at me like a freaking withered foxy jump scare from FNAF 2. If you know what I mean. Like,
creepy accounts pretending to be kids. I came across a reel randomly, and it's led me down this weird rabbit hole of people using AI or dressing up pretending to go to school. They all seem to have high heels, check images in them. Is this an age play thing or something more sinister? Literally anything helps as I keep trying to look for answers. This post was made to the subreddit r/Instagram by the user numerouscut792 on April 15th, 2024. It featured screenshots of 3 bizarre-looking Instagram pages they had encountered earlier that day, with OP expressing concern that something truly disturbing was happening with these users. And those in the thread agreed. What the actual fuck? Found all of them and blocked them all. Truthsticks11 is seriously creepy to me. I've been trying to find more about them but can hardly find anything. Very weird account to say the least. The 3 accounts apparently belong to 3 different children. However, when combing through their posts, the content seems to imply something much more bizarre was afoot. Something truly disturbing. This post would be the start of a story that would eventually be picked up and shared all across the
Chat, I'm gonna look at the comments real quick. The fact that he's known by people, walks around in a costume in broad daylight and doesn't try to hide it at all, but still not caught and contained. Bro, he's not caught? Bro. And he's like unrestrained, bro. Bro. See? Bro. Fake mentally doesn't mean someone has no idea what they're doing. This man knows damn well what he's doing. Bro. Imagine this dude running. He likes to make music. I think it meant he likes to make music. Proceeds to play hellish sounds I would not consider music whatsoever. Yeah.
online world, becoming one of
This makes me grateful that I never had unlimited internet access when I was more little.
the more notorious internet mysteries in recent memory, as these accounts revealed an unending rabbit hole that is still being traversed to this very day, in an ongoing investigation into one of the most depraved oddities ever found on Instagram. This is the emerging story of Smart Schoolboy 9.
1, 2, 3.
Nick Rowley presents Smart Schoolboy 9.
I hope you like these photos. School is good. Really good.
If you ever want to know why I block ads with Pi, this is why I block ads with Pi.
I just found what may be the biggest YouTube...
Well, you decided to interrupt me with an ad, so... the hypocrisy, bro.
We'll return after these messages.
Before we get too far down this rabbit hole, I want to first thank today's sponsor, AG1. AG1 is a daily foundational nutrition supplement.
It was a sponsor.
And I've really it's the antioxidants. I've tried taking a bunch of individual vitamins, but it was just one scoop AG1. They're the first I've seen to pack this much nutrition and gut health support into just one scoop. So if this sounds like something you guys might be interested in,
Let's go to Truth Sticks on. Truth Sticks 11.
Beautiful boy, an account looked after by me, a degree-educated mother choosing to stay anonymous. This was the bio of the first account pictured in the Reddit post, an account named TruthSticks11, which was said to be operated by a 12-year-old boy and his mother. Back in October of 2021, the duo would make their very first post, kicking things off on a somewhat concerning note, though not for their own page, but instead another account on the platform.
So, that's the account run by a man pretending to be a boy.
The video was created and posted by the mother for the sole purpose of warning others of a specific user who had been posing as a child online when, in actuality, he was a grown man who did this in order to get close to and exploit other children across the platform. It's the grim reality of this online world, as predators will do just about anything to get closer to children, and it's a reality often unrealized or even ignored by parents, which makes it almost refreshing that this mother was out here trying to raise awareness. These posts would become the crux of the account early on. They would call out this user and their many accounts again and again, eventually going more in depth about what this person would actually do, claiming
I would have just called the police. If I was like the mother or the father or whatever, if I were like the parent, mom or the dad, I would have just take this dude to like a mental
that they had a strange perversion to dressing up as a young schoolboy. Does he wish he were a young boy in a school classroom, looking nice and being successful at school? Yes.
Does he dress up as a child to try to chat online with other kids? Yes.
This theme of calling out online predators would remain consistent throughout the years on TruthSticks11. However, after some time, the mother behind the account began to use the page for its initially intended purpose, to share photos of her son. The photos began reasonably normal, and would show this young boy studying at school, accepting awards from their principal, and even school presentations in which their son had attended, with the captions often boasting about how intelligent the young boy was. Though over time, the photos began to grow stranger. They looked off, almost as if they were AI generated. And on top of this, they began to appear heavily edited in an almost inexplicable manner, with deep red lipstick often being added, which was
after the lobotomy,
enunciated by his face being turned pure white. This unsettling trend would continue from here, as with each passing post, the photos grew less authentic and more surreal.
Oh, the background. Bro.
Until they became straight up disturbed, even sickening. These bizarre edits spilled over past just the images too, as the posts began to appear as disjointed collages, often showcasing multiple grotesque images and paragraphs about how much this user loved school. And this wasn't the only shift either. At some point, the son behind the account began posting content that allegedly came directly from him, saying things like, "My really cool mom asked me if I'd like to post, and I said, yes please." He even shared supposed videos that he had filmed of himself, which were equally as unconvincing as his photos, and somehow even more chilling. The boy even shows off his singing in one of the clips. Though their voice sounds off. The account was overall anomalous and extremely off-putting. And though this content was visually alarming, another aspect made it even more so concerning, as
Okay, I've seen a lot of scary shit before, like username 666 or username 666 obey the walrus or Lamorsa, stuff like that. The catacombs and stuff like that. A lot of creepy shit, like even like corrupted PS1 starters. But this, okay, this is just beyond. This is just beyond creepy.
Over time, many of the images began to resemble CP, showcasing these fake AI children in explicit positions, with their faces sometimes even being photoshopped onto scantily dressed adult bodies.
Oh my
One thing is
God.
blatantly obvious about the Truth Sticks account. The supposed child behind it is not
Oh,
real.
no, don't
Even
leave
in the
it
more
in,
passable
please.
photos at the very beginning,
why the
there's
distorted
evidence to
image,
suggest that
bro?
these were likely AI as well. And based on the
Okay, Nick Crowley, I like watching your content. I love it, but why the editing? Okay, I know to like make it more like for like viewer retention and stuff, but oh my God, it is scary.
disturbed, borderline illegal content that this page featured, it seemed more than likely that whoever was behind this page was not an innocent mother concerned for the welfare of other children.
Nah, he's definitely running the account. He's running the account himself. Like, I don't even think it's his mom.
But instead, a predatory individual themselves. And this wasn't their only account. The second page featured on the Reddit post.
Like, I've seen stuff like Mandela Catalog, Boiled One, freaking Gemini Home Entertainment, but this, yeah, this FNAF VHS and stuff, freaking 144, Two Girls One Cup, like this. Okay, yeah, this,
belonged
like
to a user named GirlChloe12 and bore striking similarities to Truth Sticks.
Bro,
the page
and why are people doing the same shit every time?
was also supposedly run by a child and monitored
This has got to be like some cult or something. I don't really know.
by their parent. Bizarrely, they also posted frequently about the dangers of online predators, with the wording of these posts and the editing being essentially the exact same as Truth Sticks, just not as over the top. These two accounts even frequently interacted with each other, thus providing a substantial link on its own.
Yeah, they both said they are both kind of have like a similar description. How they both say that they're monitored.
But by far the most compelling link between these pages is one that is easy to miss at a glance, with that being a blatant obsession.
As a person who gets scared rarely scared, like this is actually very scary.
High-heeled mini boots. These shoes were mentioned or shown in virtually every single post made by these two users. At playtime, I'm sometimes running around with my really cool heeled footwear I wear with my uniform. After coming home from school, education isn't over for the day once the blue blazer, gray jersey, neat tie, white shirt, tailored close-fit gray trousers, and black heeled mini boots are in the wardrobe. No matter what they discussed, school uniforms and mini boots were always a talking point, which adds confirmation to something that is already becoming apparent. This is fetish content, not too unlike the bizarre accounts in the Pipergate rabbit hole. Fetish content centered around children. And what makes the Chloe account so disturbing is that AI was seemingly not used, and rather the images seem to be of actual children. Despite this disturbing distinction, these two accounts are cut from the same cloth, and all signs point to them being created by the same person. A person who, despite their constant warnings of the dangers of adults pretending to be children online, seems to be doing the exact same thing, as part of some sort of fetish.
My mom has definitely seen something like this before because I'm glad I have a very loving mother and father who always tell me that sometimes like kids can people try to be or like grown adults like predators try to be children, and this perfectly represents that.
Of which we'll discuss later. But for now, one thing was for certain. These pages were not run by children or their parents.
They're predators.
So who created them?
Predators, pedophiles, or anything.
Well, that brings us to our third and final account shown in that initial post.
Smart Schoolboy 9. Oh, hell, yep, this is gonna get
Smart Schoolboy 9 was much the same as the other two accounts. They warned of online predators, obsessed over high-heeled mini boots and school uniform.
Yeah. Hypocrisy.
And posed as a child despite clearly not being one. But Smart Schoolboy was different in one key aspect. The person behind the account was pretending to be a child, but they were doing so in a much more apparent manner, as they didn't use AI or stolen images of other kids.
Bro, this is why I don't use AI, or I don't really like use AI in terms of visualization, because something AI can be creepy as hell with this. Like AI enhanced images.
To form their identity, and instead, they used photos of themselves.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps on my face.
In the images posted on the account, we see what appears to be a fully grown man, dressed in a schoolboy's uniform. His face is painted pure white and has bright red lipstick, and he's, of course, wearing high-heeled mini boots. Characteristics that were all utilized across the other accounts, only this time it was done on himself, as he poses as a child pretending to go to school, as well as pretending to go through other life events common for preteens. And the photos aren't even the most disturbing part, as the account consists primarily of videos.
No, don't get close.
School. Hi. Let me know if you like school as well.
Bro, his voice.
The videos are all incredibly off-putting. Some show him arriving home from school.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, no, don't get closer. Bro.
Others show him claiming to be on the bus heading toward school.
Yeah.
Bro.
Okay.
We got 5 more minutes to come take a break.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on the school bus.
And other videos showing him doing whatever this is. With these strange sounds and the process of sticking his tongue out appearing to be part of his fetish. As much like the other accounts, his content is overtly sexual.
Is he still active?
In its own bizarre way. In fact, there's a video of him with his full outfit on, where he shows himself staring into a mirror as he appears to pleasure himself, right out of view of the camera, as he stares into his own eyes. This account is by far the most sickening part of this whole rabbit hole, and also the most important. Interspersed throughout his page are a few examples of what this individual's voice sounds like.
This is quite good.
Which just so happens to be the same voice heard in the very first clip shown on the Truth Sticks account.
Man, pretending to be a boy.
Meaning that this full-grown adult man is the one behind this entire rabbit hole. He's the one on these accounts pretending to be a child and their mother, getting some sort of sick satisfaction from whatever this is. And the worst part is, these activities aren't just kept behind closed doors. As we can see on numerous occasions, videos of him walking around outside in a public space, with his full outfit and face paint on.
Hell no.
Look at me.
It's truly one of the strangest things that I've ever seen, and making sense of what this all is extremely difficult. But based on the information found from this first Reddit post, a few likely conclusions can be put forward. This man is clearly attracted to the idea of being a kid, and I think OP was correct when they speculated that this was some sort of age play thing, but it's also clearly much more than that too, as based on the images that he's created himself.
I would be surprised if this is age regression, because this does not look like age regression at all. This is just sheer predatory behavior.
He clearly has some sort of attraction to other children as well, as he's quite literally created faux CP, the likes of which is so disturbing that I can't even really describe it here either. He's creating fetish content, and he's using the likeness of children, and also some children that are clearly very real people, to do so. That much is obvious. But there was also the possibility that he was pretending to be a kid in order to exploit other children across the internet. At this point, though, this was merely speculation, with much of the Smart Schoolboy 9 case remaining a mystery, and the rabbit hole was only getting deeper from here.
The community.
Months after this rabbit hole was introduced to the online world, the story began to be shared all across the internet, most notably on the r/Internet Mysteries subreddit, where the case really took off. There, internet sleuths began uncovering just how vast this web of accounts actually was, as it wasn't just these 3 pages. No, there seemed to be over a dozen, and likely even more that we still haven't found, as he's created his own sort of community, his own little world, where across each page he pretends to be a child, with these accounts typically following each other and frequently interacting, seemingly to make these characters appear as though they have real friends. On one of these pages, 12 Stockwell Joanne, he poses as a 14-year-old girl, using more AI images to depict explicit positions of this manufactured child, which I obviously am not going to show here. Though much like his Chloe account, he also shows images of very real young girls. But this isn't the most concerning part of this account, as on numerous occasions he's shown images of children at a playground, which he may have taken himself. This fantasy of being a schoolgirl and taking part in these school-centric activities is something carried over throughout multiple of his accounts, with his most common alias being Stephanie, of which he has numerous different accounts featuring that same name.
Yeah, I'm Stephanie.
This Stephanie character claims to be a 12-year-old aspiring poet, with accounts all across the internet, many of which showcasing examples of her poetry, which carries on those same distinct sexual undertones. I race to complete my poems when I've got an early start, heart racing, mixed rhythms, maximizing miracles, rice with rap, and on the map, my Kennington, London syllables, dancing though I know my underwear might show if I lean forward. Good. Stephanie Stansfield, 12.
Kind of weird poem,
but digging even deeper, her poetry has even seemingly been featured in various articles and even newspapers, showcasing that this rabbit hole extends far past just the online world. This act is clearly their obsession, and he's been doing this for years, with the earliest examples that I could find coming from all the way back in 2018. And this Stephanie character seems to be his go-to alias, embodying it in even the literal sense. As in one of his many pages dedicated to this Stephanie character, he dresses as her, wearing a wig and a dress, as he pretends to be a 12-year-old girl.
At Job Corps, you could work towards a career.
Job Corps provides free schooling, free tuition, free housing, free food.
Free training, free food, free place to stay, great experiences.
You can make your goals come.
Almost immediately after this case began gaining traction, the true magnitude of this rabbit hole was revealed. Across every single account are countless depraved posts and oddities that all could warrant discussion. But by far the most important discoveries were those that didn't actually occur on his own page, and rather the pages of other actual children. Do you like school? I do. It is good. You have some cool shirts, but I have to wear school uniforms to school. It is nice, but casual isn't allowed, and it's quite hot here in the UK, as the month of June suddenly got warmer. These are 2 examples out of many that show Smart Schoolboy 9 reaching out and attempting to befriend young children online. In one comment, he even warns a child about other comments from bad people, stating that, "It happens to most boys in our age group, but stay safe, stay cool, don't be dismayed by creeps." This is our best evidence that these accounts weren't just made for age play. No, he's actually posing as a child in order to make friends with other children. And given his overtly sexual interests and aversion to CP, it's not hard to gather why he was doing this. And these examples are only what we found so far. It's possible that there are dozens, or who knows, maybe even hundreds of other comments out there, hidden on unknown children's accounts. This is predatory behavior. The man behind Schoolboy 9 is a predator. And in case there was still any doubt of whether or not this was a sexual thing, here's what he had to say about being a 13-year-old girl. But have his tactics actually worked? Well, the frightening thing is, no one knows if he's actually been successful or not, or even what specifically he's looking for. We just know that he's trying to reach kids, as evidenced not only by his comments, but by the fact that he's solely following children on all of these pages. And though it's easy to look at these accounts and know that something is off, for children, it's not that simple, especially when there's pages showcasing photos of actual kids. Which brings up another frightening detail. many of the images he's used of children have not been traced back to their original creator, and some seem to appear for the very first time online publicly on this man's pages, which might mean that he was sent them privately. There's even one image that David posted on his schoolboy account, which shows another kid that he claimed to be on a playdate with, though it's impossible to say.
Does this dude have like microglossia? Does this dude have like microglossia? Macroglossia? Not microglossia, macroglossia. And it just looks disturbing.
If this is real or not. For now, we just don't know for sure. Though given the fact that he's reaching out to children, posting fetish content centered around children, and has even potentially photographed kids in the wild, one thing is for certain: Smart Schoolboy 9 needs to be stopped. Finding this man and reporting him to law enforcement quickly became the top priority for those investigating the case. And luckily, he left several glaring clues behind that made this process a whole lot easier. On numerous occasions across his many pages, he would post images and videos of specific locations, even showing streets and mentioning very particular areas in his poems, all of which centered around the London area, immediately giving us an idea of where he was located. And that wasn't all. I mentioned how the alias of Stephanie was one that he used more so than any other, but what's interesting is that there was another name used just as often across his accounts, brought up time and time again, though it's a name that he never seemed to call any of his characters. Instead, he simply referred to this person as a stepbrother, or a father, or even a friend from school, despite never actually picturing him, just mentioning his name. David. And sure enough, after connecting a few dots, it would be revealed that this person's actual name was in fact David. David Alter, with a man being 59 years old.
59?
At the moment, it doesn't appear that David has any past criminal convictions or documented history of this behavior, but we do know that thanks to the investigation done on Reddit and Discord, he is currently being investigated by local authorities, which will hopefully put an end to his online behavior and shine some more light on who this person actually is. As for the time being, the only other information that we really know about David is that he likes to write poetry and he makes music.
I think I hear a running tram. Going back in time, not out of time. I think I like a little lemon and lime. Say Mary Ann, hey Steely Dan. I like the sound of that running tram.
And his name also appears in a random newspaper, where he's discussing the importance of kids wearing school uniforms. And that's really all we have at the moment. Though there is one very important aspect that we have yet to talk about in relation to this man, with that being David's mental state. Some believe that David is a mentally unwell individual who potentially doesn't know the extent of what they are doing. Now, even if this is the case, his behavior still needs to be stopped, and he needs to be given proper help to assure that no one else gets hurt by his actions.
Okay. Even if it is a mental issue, just because you have a mental issue doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing, buddy. This man knows what he's doing. He knows everything he's doing. There's no denying that. Don't even try to correct me, because...
But it is important to note that David is far more intelligent than he lets on, as his personal accounts show us that he is fairly well-spoken and articulate, and throughout his problematic content, most of his bad grammar and strange verbiage seems to be his attempts at more authentically trying to replicate a child. But it's impossible to know for sure. But what we do know is that David is extremely manipulative.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
With his response to the situation and other clues littered across his accounts, showing us that he seems to know what he's doing, and he knows that it's wrong.
Never give up.
Since the exposure of David's accounts, he hasn't silently slithered away like most other predators would. Instead,
Boy 9. Not his actual thing, but the internet rabbit hole by Nick Crowley. Oh my god, no, yeah, I'm done. I'm done watching this, bro. Okay. What else does he make? What kind of other videos does he make? Okay, yeah. That's just creepy as hell. The Worst Fates and Analog Horror by Vortogo.
Upon the viewing of this video, the following symptoms may be experienced. Happiness, satisfaction, demonic beings crawling around in your skin, bedtime trumpets, a new understanding of things you shouldn't know, complete paralysis, roots attaching to your bones, parasites scratching at your skull, finger spasming, eye twitching, an overwhelming sense of dread, a complete dismantling of your body, an agonizing death, and the most prevalent symptom, a lingering cough. The Boyd 1 Phenomenon is an analog horror video uploaded on March 17, 2024, created by Dr. Nowhere. It revolves around a horrific
Dr.
figure
Nowhere
called the
makes the
Boyd
most
1,
insane
or Finn
videos.
228, who appears in an episode of a discontinued series which was never meant to rerun. 530 people viewed this broadcast and would experience the consequences. Finn 228 acts as a cognito hazard of sorts, though doesn't seem the problem is with looking at it, but with allowing it to complete its message, which is likely why the audio of the clip shown for context was heavily altered and cut short.
Also, I do know what it says, and it's reverse, and it says the very as it the full thing it said, the very memory in my face will cause a manifestation of my being in the future. You will be asleep in bed, and I will be there and watch over you. When you wake, you won't be able to move any part of you. And when the doctors eventually fire you, they won't see me, but I'll see you. Forever, I'll see you. That's what it's
Though this is besides the point. Upon viewing the footage, people are unable to keep the image of the Boyd 1 out of their head, and experience extreme paranoia and anxiety, and it only gets significantly worse from there. Victims in later days would randomly experience a pseudocoma, a complete inability to move or communicate while still being conscious. The Boyd 1 will also watch over you for the rest of your life. Even though this sounds really bad, I want to say the details previously mentioned could be ranked amongst the worst. But there's two more important details. A victim of the broadcast before he was completely paralyzed claimed the face was living in his brain and feeding on his spine. With how Finn 228 behaves, I'm inclined to believe this isn't a lie. And I'm no medical professional, but that sounds painful. Though, the consistency of the spine feeding is unknown. The second point, the victim shown appears to be taken care of, but there were 508 other people affected.
Oh, thank God. Thank freaking God.
Come on, take a breath.
Thank God. Oh.
Thank God for what? What happened? You okay? You're not playing.
Get out of my room. Gavin, get out of my room. Dad? Dad? Can you get Gavin out of my room? Dad? Alright.
Get out of your brother's room. You're gonna make me yell? Point. I know how much it costs. What's your point? Well, I'm putting it away because you're not. School comes first before games. I've told you this every day. When you come home, you're supposed to do schoolwork first. I sometimes, as lenient as I am, I let you play before doing work. But if you're not going to put any effort into the work, you're not going to play. So don't remind me how much the VR costs. That has nothing to do with the situation. Tomorrow, when you get home, you're gonna do your schoolwork first before playing, and you're not gonna play until you work on that sheet. Stop messing with the door. Stop messing with the door.
Yeah. Sorry for taking so long. Okay. Let's get it.
How many of those people had no one taking care of them? Even if they were alone for only a few days, they would slowly become extremely dehydrated, constantly thirsting for water, but having no way to access it, while the Boyd One watches over them. Even if the Boyd One has a way to prevent dehydration or even death from happening, not being able to move for decades while an ominous presence watches over you is terrible. But honestly, it's a tameness in this video.
Cause a manifestation of my being in the future. You will be
Well. Oh my god, I'm trying to get in my room. No.